It's become quite popular in recent years to purport this idea that life is for your soul to come to this earth school and learn lessons and then go back, and now you've learned these lessons as a soul, and then you reincarnate again to have a different set of lessons taught to you, and this cycle perpetuates over and over and over and over again, and eventually you've learned all of these great lessons, and your soul is, I don't know, become the wisest soul. and and you are done learning, and so your time in the earth school is over. I never understood this concept from the standpoint of, if you have this, I guess, godly soul, this soul that sort of comes from God, what lesson would you need to be taught? Why would you need a lesson? Why would you need a schoolmaster and a curriculum and a graduation date called your death? And then you go to the next grade, I guess, and continue to build upon your lessons and and wisen your soul. If you have a soul, and that soul is created from the one, what could it possibly have to learn? It is of the knowingest knower that exists. And so, what could it possibly learn from coming to Earth? It never made any sense to me. If there is such a thing as the soul is all of the wise learnings complete. It is already those things. There is no necessity to bring it to a physical plane, to use more modern jargon. There's no necessity to bring it to a physical plane in order to provide it something here. It already would have much more than could ever be provided here. And so, in this way, I really, really strongly disagree with with this concept as, I guess, sort of a basic foundational axiom by which to contemplate meaning and purpose and the reason for there to be something rather than nothing. If you're a watcher of this channel by now, you probably know my preferred axiom is more of this one energy dividing itself into everything and creating something out of nothing in order to have interesting experiences, in order to put a being in place at a point in time and then live from that perspective and have that experience out of sheer entertainment. It's a playfulness, it's not a curriculum. And it's a drama, it's not a university degree. And so, in this way, there is a more joyous celebration as opposed to this sort of follow the rules, punish the things that you don't do right, reward the things that you do right, and this sort of very punitive, pilgramic, puritanic view of the reasoning behind there being any existence to even be discussing. And so the more that I even talk about it, there is nothing that jives with me from the idea that if you had a soul, it would require you coming to a physical plane in order to learn something. What would you have to learn that you didn't already know? However, if you wanted to play and you wanted to create for the sake of celebrating and bring everything into existence for those reasons, and to scatter them wide and far and in numbers and quantities and variations that are inexhaustible, that to me makes sense. And I would much rather live my life in an effort to connect with that playfulness and the joy and the celebration, rather than be forever looking and peering through every doorway to try to figure out what's the next lesson. What am I lacking? What is the next thing that I need to learn? What's the next job that I have to do? That is a work view of reality, which is the opposite of the view of life and existence as a playful activity. Play is not work. Work is not play. And I strongly eschew the idea that we are here to work on a soul that for some reason doesn't already come with all of the wisdom and knowledge that brought it about.